Get ready for this one because we're going deep into some seriously mind-bending stuff today. We're talking about how an ancient language could actually revolutionize artificial intelligence.
Wow.
Yeah, right? It's
Right.
wild. We're diving into an article called Knowledge Representation in Sanskrit and Artificial Intelligence.
Okay.
And it basically explores how Sanskrit might be like this secret key to making AI way more accurate and efficient, especially, when it comes to natural language processing, the way AI understands and uses language.
That's a fascinating area, for sure.
Totally. And you know what? Get ready for some serious aha moments. You might never look at grammar the same way again after this deep dive.
I'm intrigued.
So the article's main point is that Sanskrit's grammar, it's super structured, and the syntax, how the words are arranged, is so precise that it's perfect for conveying complex ideas without any ambiguity,
Right.
which is something that modern languages, like English, they often struggle with.
Yeah, absolutely. That lack of ambiguity is like the holy grail for AI. I mean, AI systems, they just thrive on clarity.
Right.
The less ambiguity there is in a language, the better an AI system can understand and respond to what we're asking it to do.
It's like trying to follow a recipe that says add some sugar.
Exactly. How much is some?
Right. That's the kind of problem AI runs into all the time with natural language.
All the time.
So how does Sanskrit solve that? There's this great example in the article comparing the English sentence, John gave the ball to Mary,
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
to how that same idea would be expressed in Sanskrit.
And it's fascinating how the Sanskrit construction just clarifies exactly what kind of giving is happening, Like, was it a gift? Was it a loan? Did John just toss the ball to Mary?
That's like, was it a gentle handoff or like a full-on throw?
Exactly. And Sanskrit's case system, where words have these specific endings depending on their role in the sentence, it removes all that ambiguity. It's like it spells out, okay, there's this activity, and the core of it is giving. John is the one doing the giving, the ball's the thing being given, and Mary is the one receiving it.
Each part is crystal clear.
Totally clear.
So it's not just about the words themselves, but like how they relate to each other in the sentence.
Yeah, so the relationships, yeah.
And this case system, it means word order isn't as crucial in Sanskrit. Like you could jumble the words around and the meaning would still be locked in.
Exactly.
Which makes it like perfect for machines to understand, right?
Oh, absolutely. Because machines, they need that clear structure.
But wait, wouldn't this be incredibly complex to actually implement? Yeah. Like where do we even begin with something like this?
Well, one area where this could have a huge impact is machine translation.
Okay, yeah,
You know how right now translations can often feel a bit clunky and awkward?
totally.
It's because this software is struggling with all those subtle nuances of meaning.
Right. It's like it gets the general idea but misses the feeling.
Exactly. But with Sanskrit's precision, imagine if AI could translate languages flawlessly,
Wow.
capturing not just the literal words, but the actual intended meaning behind them.
That would be a game changer for communicating across cultures. It'd be amazing.
It would be revolutionary.
Or hold on, wouldn't we need massive amounts of Sanskrit text to train AI systems? Is that even available?
That's a great point. And that's actually one of the challenges researchers are working on right now. But luckily, Sanskrit has this incredibly rich literary tradition.
Okay.
There's this vast collection of texts that spans thousands of years.
Wow, so there's a lot of material to work with.
Tons of it. And the language's logical structure, it makes it easier to analyze and break down.
So we've got this giant library of knowledge. We've got the technology to analyze it. What's the next step in actually integrating Sanskrit into AI systems?
It's all about developing algorithms and models that can handle Sanskrit's unique grammatical structure.
Okay, I'm following.
Think of it like teaching a computer a whole new way of thinking about language.
So it's not just about like translating Sanskrit into English or vice versa.
No, it's much deeper than that.
It's more about teaching AI to think like a Sanskrit scholar in a way.
Exactly.
Whoa, that's a wild concept.
And that's where things get really exciting, because researchers are already using this approach to analyze ancient medical texts, for example.
Oh, wow. Like what kind of things are they finding?
Well, imagine AI uncovering lost remedies or insights that have been hidden for centuries because of language barriers.
That's incredible. We could unlock all this lost knowledge from ancient civilizations all thanks to Sanskrit and AI. It's like having a linguistic Rosetta Stone.
It really is. It opens up a whole new realm of possibilities. Imagine AI that can not only translate those ancient texts, but can also connect the ideas and concepts across different cultures and time periods.
So it's not just about accessing information, it's about understanding it in a deeper, more meaningful way.
Precisely. And that's where Sanskrit's philosophical roots really come into play. Because you see, the language was designed for precise logical thinking. Right. For dissecting complex ideas and exploring how they all connect.
That's fascinating.
And that's exactly the kind of thinking we want AI to be capable of. It's like we're giving AI a crash course in critical thinking, and we're using Sanskrit as the textbook.
That is a really cool way to put it.
Yeah.
So we've talked about translation and like deciphering ancient texts, but what about those everyday AI interactions we were talking about earlier, like voice assistants and stuff? How would Sanskrit improve those?
Okay, so think about those times when you ask your voice assistant something, and it just totally misinterprets what you meant, like completely.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Right. Sanskrit's precision could actually eliminate a lot of those misunderstandings.
Oh, okay.
It would make those interactions so much smoother and more accurate.
So instead of just saying, like, play some music, which could mean a million different things,
Right.
you could give a really specific command in a Sanskrit-based system. You could, like, specify the genre, the mood, the tempo, maybe even the instruments you like.
Yeah, exactly. You could really fine-tune it.
And the AI, because it understands all those nuances, it could put together a playlist that's exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
No more scrolling through a bunch of random search results.
No more, oh, that's not what I meant at all.
Right. Okay, that's pretty impressive. But let's be real for a second. Integrating Sanskrit into AI, that seems like a massive project.
Yeah, it's a big one.
Are there any actual projects happening right now that are working on this?
Absolutely. There are teams at places like the Indian Institute of Technology and the University of Oxford that are diving into this.
Oh, seriously.
They're developing natural language processing systems that are based on Sanskrit, and they're incorporating Sanskrit's grammatical structure into machine learning algorithms. It's cutting-edge stuff.
It's amazing to think that this ancient language could be at the forefront of AI innovation.
Right.
It really challenges how we think about where progress comes from.
It shows that knowledge is interconnected across time and cultures. We often think of progress as this straight line, always moving forward.
Yeah.
But sometimes the biggest leaps forward come from looking back and re-examining the past with fresh eyes.
It's like we're standing on the shoulders of giants. In this case, the scholars and philosophers who developed and refined Sanskrit over centuries. But I gotta ask, are there any downsides to this? Could incorporating an ancient language into modern tech create any, unexpected problems?
That's a great question, and it's one we should definitely consider. I think one potential challenge is this sheer complexity of Sanskrit. It's a very intricate language with a huge vocabulary and really sophisticated grammar,
Right.
which could make it tricky to integrate smoothly with the AI systems we have now.
So it's not just a matter of plugging in a Sanskrit dictionary.
It's way more than that.
It requires a fundamental shift in how we approach AI development, right?
Absolutely. It demands a deep understanding of linguistics and computer science. And it requires people from different fields to work together. It's a big challenge, but the potential payoff could be huge.
It sounds like we need a whole new generation of AI specialists who are not only tech savvy, but also really understand the intricacies of Sanskrit.
It's an exciting opportunity for collaboration, bringing together linguists, computer scientists, historians, philosophers, all working together to push the boundaries of what we know.
Imagine what we could achieve if we can successfully bridge that gap between ancient wisdom and modern technology. But even if we figure out the technical stuff, wouldn't there be a risk of losing something in translation?
Interesting.
Could AI ever truly capture the depth and nuance of a language as rich as Sanskrit?
That's a really profound question, and it gets at the heart of what makes language so powerful. Language isn't just a set of rules and symbols. It's a reflection of culture, history, and the human experience.
So while AI might be able to grasp the grammatical structure and the logical precision of Sanskrit, could it ever really understand the cultural and philosophical context that gives the language its depth?
That's something that philosophers and AI researchers are wrestling with right now.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
As AI gets more and more sophisticated, we need to think about not only what it can do technically, but also how culturally sensitive and aware it is.
It's like we're stepping into this uncharted territory, and we need to be both excited and cautious at the same time.
Hmm.
But even if AI never fully grasps all the subtle nuances of human language,
Right.
the pursuit of that goal could still lead to some amazing breakthroughs, right?
Oh, absolutely. Sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination.
Hmm.
By exploring how Sanskrit and AI intersect, we're expanding our understanding of language and technology. And that in itself is a huge accomplishment.
It's like we're opening this brand new chapter in the history of human knowledge, one where ancient wisdom and modern innovation come together to create something truly revolutionary.
And who knows what incredible discoveries are waiting for us as we turn the pages of that chapter.
Okay, so we've gone deep into the technical challenges and the philosophical stuff, but let's bring this back to the listener for a moment. How could this Sanskrit-powered AI actually impact their everyday lives?
Imagine a world where you can communicate effortlessly with anyone, from any culture, where language barriers are a thing of the past. That's the kind of world that Sanskrit-enhanced AI could help us create.
So we're not just talking about better translations, we're talking about a fundamental shift in how we connect with each other on a global scale.
Exactly. It's about fostering understanding between cultures, breaking down barriers, and creating a more interconnected world, a more harmonious world.
That's a beautiful vision. But it's not just about global communication. It's also about personalized experiences, right? We talked about how Sanskrit-enhanced AI could lead to more intuitive voice assistants and personalized learning platforms. What other parts of our lives could be transformed by this technology?
Think about healthcare. Imagine AI-powered tools that can analyze medical records and research papers with incredible accuracy,
Okay, yeah.
helping doctors make faster and more accurate diagnoses.
So we're talking about AI that can not only understand all that complex medical jargon, but can also spot subtle patterns and connections that human doctors might miss.
Exactly. Sanskrit's precision and clarity, they could revolutionize medicine, potentially saving lives and improving how we treat patients.
That's incredible. What about entertainment? Could Sanskrit-enhanced AI change how we experience movies, music, art?
Imagine virtual reality experiences that are so immersive, they transport you to different worlds and cultures. You could interact with characters and storylines in a way that feels totally real.
Wow.
Sanskrit-enhanced AI could help create those experiences, translating languages, generating realistic dialogue, making those interactions feel genuine.
So we're talking about VR experiences that are not only visually stunning, but also linguistically and culturally rich.
Precisely. It's about creating entertainment that's engaging and thought-provoking, something that expands our horizons and deepens our understanding of the world.
Okay, my mind is officially blown. Sanskrit-enhanced AI has the potential to change pretty much every aspect of our lives, from the everyday stuff to the extraordinary. But before we get too carried away with all these futuristic possibilities, let's take a step back and consider one last question. So, we've been talking about all these amazing possibilities, but is there anything about incorporating Sanskrit into AI that makes you, hesitate at all? Are there any downsides, any potential problems that we haven't really thought about yet?
Yeah, that's a super important question to ask with any new technology, right? I think one potential challenge is making sure this is accessible to everyone.
So interesting.
Sanskrit, like we've been discussing, it's complex. And if it really does become like the foundation of AI in the future, we have to make sure that knowing Sanskrit isn't like a barrier to entry for, developers or users.
So you're talking about like a potential digital divide where only the people who have access to Sanskrit education can really be a part of this whole AI revolution.
Yeah, that's a real concern. We need to make sure that everyone has access to learning resources for Sanskrit.
Right.
And maybe even develop tools that can help bridge that gap, make it easier for people from all different backgrounds to contribute to this field.
It's like we need a whole new wave of Sanskrit education, not just for like scholars and academics, but for programmers, developers, even everyday people who just want to understand how this tech works.
Exactly. It's about making this knowledge available to everyone and ensuring that the benefits of this Sanskrit-powered AI are shared by everyone, not just a select few.
This has been absolutely mind-blowing. I feel like we've just scratched the surface of what's possible when you combine the ancient wisdom of Sanskrit with the power of modern AI.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? It reminds us that innovation can come from the most unexpected places, and that we should never underestimate the power of looking back to our past to help us shape the future.
So what's the one big takeaway you hope our listeners will, walk away with today?
I'd say keep an open mind. If a language from thousands of years ago can open up all these new possibilities for AI, what other amazing discoveries are out there just waiting to be found? The future of innovation might not be about creating something entirely new, but about seeing the potential in what already exists.
That's a really powerful message. And it's a perfect way to wrap up our deep dive into this fascinating world of Sanskrit and AI.
It's been a pleasure exploring this with you.
And to all our listeners, thank you for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep into the world of knowledge.